everyone, welcome once again to this online physics class. Right, so we are all doing chapter number 10. What is that? Gravitation. So we have done the chapter, teaching session is over. Now we are solving the numericals given under the exercise part at the end of your lesson. So today also I have taken up one sum and one question which sounds little tricky. Okay, so let's begin the session now. Look at the question here. It's a very simple sum. Calculate the force of gravitation between the earth and the sun. You have to calculate the force of gravitation between the earth and the sun. And they have given you the mass of the earth and they have given you the mass of the sun. And they have given you the average distance also between this earth and sun. So the question goes like this. Calculate the force of gravitation between the earth and the sun, given that the mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg and if the sun is 2 into 10 raised to 30 kg. The average distance between the two is 1.5 into 10 raised to 11 meters. So the question is very simple. You have to find the force of gravitation. Which formula will apply? F is equal to G capital M into small m upon R square. So in the place of capital M and small m, I'll replace that capital M and small m by M1 and M2. M1 will be assumed as the mass of the earth and M2 will be taken as the mass of the sun. And R is the distance between the sun and the earth, right? Or earth and the sun. So now see, universal gravitational constant, that is capital G value, you all are aware, that is 6.7 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square kg raised to minus 2. Now mass of the earth, it's taken as M1, it's given in the question itself as 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg. Mass of the sun will be assumed as M2 and that is given as 2 into 10 raised to 30 kg. And distance between the earth and the sun will be considered as R and the value is given as 1.5 into 10 raised to 11 meters, right? So you have to substitute these values of M1, M2, capital G and R in the formula. F is equal to G M1 M2 upon R square. So let me substitute and show you. Now, as I told you, in the place of G, I'll substitute the value 6.7 into 10 raised to minus 11. It's a standard value. And M1 is mass of the earth. It's given in the question itself as 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg. And the mass of the sun is given in the question as 2 into 10 raised to 30 kg, right? And R, distance between the two is given as 1.5 into 10 raised to 11. So R square, so we will take it as whole square. So this is how I substitute. Now, how to solve this? See here. First, let me take the numerator. How it's given? 6.7 into 10 raised to minus 11 into 6 into 10 raised to 24 into 10 raised to 30. This is the numerator part. First, for the easy multiplication, I will, this is 2 into 10 raised to 30, sorry, M2, right? So, 6 into 2 will give me 12. So, now, 10 raised to 30 into 10 raised to 24. So, when it is multiplication, index number should be added. So, I'll write it as 12 into 10 raised to 54. See now, I'll rewrite the numerator now as F is equal to 6.7 into 10 raised to minus 11 into 6 2s are 12 into 10 raised to 24 into 10 raised to 30 will give me 10 raised to 54 upon your 1.5 into 10 raised to 11 the whole square. Now, when I multiply 6.7 by 12, I'll get the answer as, if I don't consider the decimal point, it is 67 into 12. 67 into 12 will give me 804. So 6.7, so one decimal place we have to keep the point, right? So it will be 80.4. So it will be now F is equal to 80.4 into 10 raised to minus 11 into 10 raised to 54 numerator part and denominator 1.5 the whole square, that is 15 the whole square will be 225. 1.5 means it should be 2.25 into 10 raised to 11 the whole square will be multiplication there, 10 raised to 22. Exponents you all should be thorough with. Now see this numerator, let me finish off with the exponents. 10 raised to minus 11 into 10 raised to 54. When the exponents are having a multiplication sign in between, the index number should be added. So 54 minus 11. So 1 is plus 1 is minus. Obviously it is subtraction. So in that case, I'll get it as F is equal to 80.4 into 10 raised to 54 minus into 10 raised to minus 11 will be 10 raised to 43 upon 2.25 into 10 raised to 22. Okay. Now 80.4 divided by 2.25. If you want, you can remove the decimal point. You know how to remove the decimal point. When you multiply the denominator by 100, numerator should also be multiplied by 100. So in that case, 8040 into 10 raised to 43 divided by 225 into 10 raised to 22. So if you want, you can take those tens also. In that case, decimal point will not go away. So let me do like that. So, or in other ways, you can do directly. So when you are taking it as 8040 upon 225, when you divide that, you get the answer as 35.7. So let me first solve the index part, that is exponents. So now F is equal to 80.4 divided by 2.25 into 10 raised to 43 upon 10 raised to 22. So when it is division, when it goes up, it becomes subtraction, right? You know, exponents, when it is multiplication, you have to add the powers, I mean the index numbers. When it is division, you have to subtract the index numbers. 43 minus 22 will give me, yes, 21. So I can rewrite this now as F is equal to 80.4 upon 2.25 into 10 raised to 21. So when I divide this 80.4 by 2.25, I'll get the answer as 35.7 into 10 raised to 21. So now when I move this one decimal point here before 5, I will increase one number to my exponent here. So my answer will now become F is equal to 3 point, F is equal to, I got the answer as 35.7 into 10 raised to 21. So when I take one decimal place ahead, I will write it as 3.57 into 10 raised to 22 Newton, because force is normally measured in terms of Newton. Clear? This is how we got the answer. So force of gravitation between the earth and the sun is 3.57 10 raised to 22 Newton. Clear? Now let's move on to the next question. See, what happens to the force between two objects? They have given you three conditions. First condition is mass of one object is doubled. So what will happen to the force between two objects if the mass of one object is doubled? You know this formula. F is equal to Gm, capital M into small m upon r square. Two objects means we'll assume it as m1, m2. So F is equal to G into m1, m2 upon r square. So you have learned that gravitational force between two objects is directly proportional to product of their masses. So where have you learned this? In your universal law of gravitation. So when the gravitational force between two objects is directly proportional to the product of their masses, when you are doubling the mass of one object, obviously the force will also get doubled. Right? Making it double means what? Making it twice. Okay. Now, if the distance between the two objects is doubled and tripled, they are coming to the distance part. First they said when the mass of only one object is doubled. You have learnt in your law that force is directly proportional to the product of their mass. Are making the mass of one object twice of its original value, obviously the force is also going to get twice, that is doubled. Now they are asking if the distance between the two objects is doubled and tripled. So according to your universal law of gravitation, every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force which is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. It is inverse. So when you are making the distance double, what will happen in the place of r, that is 1 upon r square, right? So when you make it 1 upon 2 the whole square, it becomes 1 upon 4. So when you are doubling the distance, right, the force between them reduces to 1/4. If the distance between them is tripled, that is 1 upon 3 the whole square, then it becomes 1 upon 9. Clear to you? Now, next condition they are asking. The masses of both the objects are doubled. When you are doubling the mass of both the objects, obviously force is directly proportional to the product of their masses. So when you are making the mass of both the object twice its original value, obviously the force will also become 4 times, because two objects are there, no? So you are making the mass of every object twice more than that. There are two objects, so 2 2s are 4, so it will become 4 times. In the earlier part, what will happen to the force when the mass of one object is doubled? When one object is doubled, force will also be doubled. When both the objects are getting doubled, it is twice the force, no? So it will become 4 times. So with this, we are coming to an end of today's session. Meet you soon in the next class. As I told you, please practice these questions, numericals especially. Nothing is difficult. You have to apply the formulas that you have learned in your earlier lessons and in this lesson. So keep practicing. When you practice, everything will become easy. Nothing is difficult. Every now and then you have to read the lesson thoroughly. Open your textbook and read the lesson. Try to understand the meaning. Play the video and try to understand what is said. There are many YouTube videos also pertaining to this lesson. You can use them, even nothing wrong in it. There are links provided by NCERT. Those websites you can browse and you can learn. Please, since you are in 9th standard, maximum effort you try to put and keep it a practice that you have to finish off the content, whatever is taught in that particular session every now and then. So that will help you score very good marks. So take care. Bye. Meet you soon in the next physics class.